Folding light, as we refer to the building today, includes three very important points of focus. One is place, purpose, and poetics. And what that translates to be is place is really about being rooted in Oklahoma City. All of the historical references that we have, the neighborhood, all those things create a particular context and perspective about placing this building in Oklahoma City. The second one is the purpose. The purpose is the function. It's an educational arts center, and that needs to be incorporated into the plan itself. And then finally, poetics. And the poetics are the inspired elements that we use in architecture to tie all of the ingredients together. Poetics includes the place, the purpose, and the intent from an inspiring point of view as to how this building will be viewed and used. So the story for Folding Light really begins at sunrise. There are 37 miles of recycled aluminum fins with 9 different angles that softly capture, hold, reflect, and redirect the light as it moves through the sky. This represents what the building's true soul is, and that is that it responds to Oklahoma's big skies and our ever-changing light. This image illustrates a close-up of the fins and how the light begins to interface and sparkle from the surface. We all know how beautiful our sunrises can be in Oklahoma, just like this one that's bright pink and red, and it really begins to give you a sense of the personality of our place. The sky can be pink or orange or blue-gray or yellow, all of those happening daily. As the sunrise begins to occur, the building can be pink and orange, blue, gray, and yellow. As you can see here, a view of the sunrise beginning to happen from the main entrance, the structural columns are shown in silhouette. They are symbolic of the ancient tallgrass prairies that once covered the state of Oklahoma. As this image illustrates, the sun can cause the building to become golden as it comes over the horizon. The one detached column from the canopy illustrates the idea of an artistic desire to reach beyond what could be conventionally a solution, looking for something new and creative. On the right is the second floor terrace overlooking the Great Lawn. These two images show the relationship between the extended column and the tip of the roof. Oklahoma's weather is forever changing, which makes it dynamic and different each day. At this moment, it has been 4 years since our last snow, and on this particular day, the sky goes white and gray, and the building quietly responds as we get 4 inches of snow in about 4 hours. The building turns gray, matching the sky color, and the white snow allows it to softly touch the ground. It becomes very quiet around the site. These two images illustrate the change in color of the building from silver to soft gray in the snowy atmosphere. The canopy changes completely and becomes white against a white sky. As you explore the grounds and the exterior of the building, there are 4 unique features to watch for. One is the aluminum fins. The second is the lantern marking the public corner of the site, and the third is the north terrace overlooking the Great Lawn with a view of the state capitol dome. Finally, the main entry canopy. The entry canopy itself is on the east near the parking and requires discovery on your first visit. These two images represent looking inside the lantern and seeing it on a day when there is a white sky on the left and on the right, a blue sky. The second floor terrace is 18 feet from the ground and gives you a great view to the north. The 2 large windows are the dance rehearsal space, and the outdoor lighting tower to the right allows activities to be controlled at night. Looking over the handrail to the west, you see the gate. The gate is a unique pivoting gate that pivots open for a large opening. On the right, you see a detail of the gate. It's a slot perforated metal panel that has transparency and a wonderful gray quality. This view over the handrail from the terrace overlooks the north lawn. The purpose of the lantern is to mark the building's location for visitors and to pay homage to a very special donor. A night view of the lantern illustrates this landmark position, marking the primary corner of the site. As you can see on the left, the dark blue skies allow it to glow, while the image on the right illustrates the change in appearance as the sun begins to rise in the east. An early morning view of the lantern illustrates that it becomes almost opaque when there's no light inside. You'll also notice that the texture and the color of the sky is beginning to overlap the entire folding body of the building and changing it to a number of different blue values. Just after sunset, as the sun sinks below the horizon, the building appears to glow from within. The interior spaces become apparent and the lantern comes alive. A late afternoon view of the outdoor deck on the north illustrates the fact that the building form actually creates shade for people outdoors. That is an intentional design feature, as in Oklahoma it's hot towards the end of the day, and by creating shade and shadow, being outdoors is far more pleasant. The open screen wall to the west provides wind control and sun control in the latter part of the day. The outdoor deck can seat 200 and provides a wonderful space for events of all kinds. This image illustrates the outdoor deck and the west sun and windscreen. The aluminum actually begins to feel like it's capturing the energy of the day. The sun creates this series of wonderful patterns, almost as if they're made from chalk. The reflections become art right before your eyes. For a second time, at the end of the day, the building begins to take on a beautiful golden shimmer. In this particular instance, it becomes the color of the moon, as you can see in these two images. As you approach the main entry on the east side, you realize its sculptural qualities and the 4 steel columns supporting the canopy. These recall the ancient tall grass prairies. But as you can see, one column breaks away, reaching for artistic freedom. It suggests that artists see things differently. Another interesting detail in and around the main entry is that it creates a framed view of the downtown core and the Devon Tower. On a clear day, the sun accentuates the folding qualities of the facade of the building, shown here as well as the reflective qualities of the aluminum. There are only a few windows in the building, as it is necessary to protect the artwork on exhibit from UV degradation that could cause the artwork to be damaged. On the right is what we call the bay window. It is on the 4th floor. It creates sun protection for the administrative offices with the use of an open aluminum screen. The view of the south elevation shows the lantern on the left, the folding facade, and the bay window screen on the upper right. If you look closely, you can see colors including gold, gray, blue, and yellow that are a result of the building reacting to the early morning sun. The other benefit of the aluminum skin is it acts as a rain screen, meaning that it actually is not required to provide a waterproof skin, but rather the rain itself passes through it and drains down onto the ground below, acting as a cooling device on hot days. The waterproofing is actually between and behind the aluminum skin. There are 2 triangular balconies extending from the 2nd floor terrace. They are created to provide a unique and personal view of downtown to the south and the open landscape to the northwest. Almost as if you're being suspended in midair, there is a sense of freedom above the landscape.